Consecration is the act of making or declaring something sacred. I had to look that up. I don't consider myself a religious person. I'm totally okay if you are, or if you aren't. It's not my business. So maybe the new supernatural religion film, Consecration, has deeper meaning to the devout. To me, it's a tale of a lost soul finding some kind of purpose. It's a supernatural horror movie, and there are some very surreal things going on with this one. Let's try to get to the bottom of it all together. Welcome back to ML Miller Frights. I'm ML Miller. Before we begin, please do me a favor and punch that like button down below. Share this video with all of your social media addicted pals. Click subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for notifications. Consecration is new in select theaters from IFC Films. It's directed by Christopher Smith and written by Christopher Smith and Laurie Cook. Jena Malone plays Grace, an optometrist who cares a little too much about her elderly and poor clients. She cares so much that she convinces her college professor and practitioner to operate on the impoverished clients for free in order to restore their sight. So she's a pretty good person. But out of the blue, Grace gets a call informing her that her brother, who has been spending time at a Scottish convent, has murdered a priest and then committed suicide. Unwilling to accept that her brother is capable of such crimes, she heads to the convent to seek out the truth herself. There she meets a Vatican priest named Father Romero, played by Danny Houston, who is investigating the incident himself. Once at the convent, Grace begins experiencing visions and blackouts, resulting in her being cared for by the odd nuns residing there. But the closer Grace gets to the truth, the more it's revealed that though Grace claims that she is not a religious person, she does seem to have deep ties to the church. Director Christopher Smith delivered The Decent Creep from 2004, that's the one set in the underground train system, the amazing time and space twisting Triangle, the okay worksploitation horror Severance, and the bland Eddie Redmayne, Sean Bean medieval dark actioner Black Death. His film record has been hit and miss, and I want to say Consecration is more on the hit side, even though I found it to be an odd one. Jena Malone, though she is doing an English accent, is strong here as the hard-headed Grace. She isn't afraid to stand up to the nuns in the convent and has a very strong aversion to the church. This comes from an abusive and tragic childhood filled with mystery, as no one knows who she was and where she came from before she was adopted. She shows up to the convent out of devotion to her brother and could care less about the rituals and goings-on of the nuns around her. I liked her attitude, and felt her stubbornness to not accept what the nuns tell her about her brother made her very likable and relatable. While her accent slips here and there, she still delivers a very strong performance. I don't know a performance Danny Houston has done that isn't excellent, and here, despite him having some hidden Vatican agenda, he seems like he really wants to get to the truth as well. Rounding out the cast is Janet Sussman, who plays the Mother Superior in a very Mother Superior sort of way. The other nuns prove to be interesting, more so as strange background players performing suspicious actions, odd rituals, and some eccentricities, like one of them plucking her own eye out while overcome with religious fervor. Director Smith takes full advantage of presenting the convent as a strange and alien world, where the nuns ghost about the hallways, lay in penance on the floor, and perform strange ceremonies in the middle of the night. There's a strong sense of suspicion in the air that Grace senses, and it's made apparent by the sights and sounds Smith provides along the way. Grace is the outcast here, and along with her, so are you in this story. It's a strange little film. Nunsploitation is a word used for most horror films involving nuns, but here there's not any lesbian sexy times or bloody possessions desecrating the beliefs of the church, so I hesitate to categorize this film as such. It's more of a mystery, but one of those mysteries that really isn't the type you solve by watching for the clues. Grace is attempting to get to the bottom of what happened with her brother, but the more the story unfolds, it becomes something much more unpredictable, culminating in a ceremony and a revelation about grace that is very hard to predict. The ending reminded me of The Sixth Sense in some ways, as it presents events that have occurred throughout the film from a different perspective. It's not a Shyamalan twist that anyone could guess, but still, there's a revelation of sorts that changes the way the unfolded events are perceived. Maybe there's something I'm missing from Consecration, since I'm not all too familiar with the church, convents, the Catholic religion, and their religious ceremonies. Outside of movies and TV, I really don't know much about it all. I think if you are informed about a religion, the ending might be more of a shocker. It's not really on par with Saint Maud from a couple years ago, but still it's a pretty strong ending. For me, I wasn't blown away by the way things turn out, but I was impressed at Consecration's visuals, the strong performances of the cast, and the attempts to tell an unconventional convent story. As is, Consecration gets a mild to positive recommendation from me.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside your reality.